House of Representatives have summoned Muhammed, Minister of Information and Culture, over the suspension of Twitter in Nigeria. As it's sitting on Tuesday, the House mandated its committees on communication, justice, information and culture, and national security and intelligence to immediately commence an investigation into the suspension of the microblogging sites. Okay. As if I think maybe all of those things came to them as a root shock, because majority of them are going behind using VPN to tweet, because it's going to affect all of them. It's going to affect them so seriously, because with this Twitter application, it has been saving a lot of things, saving them cost what they ought to have been paying on, when it comes to, disseminating information. But now that all of them, because they didn't think, even for the fact that Nigerians were not really happy, but they didn't know that Nigerians could go through that Twitter to say they should bring that post down. They never experienced it, and I believe all these politicians never knew that the government will do so, because majority of them didn't know. From those who are presidency, and they are different from all these other politicians. From when you talk about the governors and all of those people, so maybe it came to them as a root shock. More so because you would have said that, of course, what is the need of summoning him? They've already taken their decision. You ought to have known about it, and that's why I'm trying to give that background, because he took all of them. He took everybody by surprise that they will not go to that extent. Maybe the best thing, just like I said before now, the best thing that could have happened was for them to deactivated themselves. Buhari to deactivate himself from that this thing and say, okay, you know what, I'm not going to be using the platform, but using that to rob everybody. And now they are trying to come back to tell us that Twitter has been trying to instigate the people, or to cause trouble in the country, as if that is the only place they are operating. So if there's nothing that you are not hiding, why would you want to do that? If you are not interested in that app, you just as good as don't use it. There are other apps that can be used. I hope House of Representatives is not a case of a show. Let's for once see the action of the representatives of the people. Very good. Please let him come and explain the meaning of suspending Twitter in Nigeria. Very disgraceful act to our nation. In a country like this, before anything suspended, House of Senate and House of Assembly will debate and enforce law into it. Not one person to decide for the whole country. Muhammed should respond to the call. Explain more. How can this process be attained when we have a dictator in charge? We already know the answers before the questions. Like it might not amount to anything. Maybe it's just a show of okay, I can do this, I can do that. Well, will he go? Country where ministers behave anyhow they like, that's another thing. Will he go? Please prosecute this dead looking man, Muhammed. He has deceived people a lot, but people get to know, already know the kind of person he is. What do you expect to happen? Of course, this is just a showmanship, just like the others before. Absolutely nothing will come out of this shenanigans. And one thing I believe is that without the House of Reps, or without whatever, the international ambassadors, the envoys, the US envoy, the America, the US and the UK, UN and all of them in Nigeria, they came together and said, no, 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 this is not it, and the whole world has condemned that act. And that was why the minister of what was the minister of Oyema, what ministry is he holding? Is he even heading? Now quickly arrange meeting with all these people, and they were trying to explain to them the reason why they did that, because of security. Which security are we talking about? The security that you people have caused. See, people are dying, they don't care, but because people are exposing the wrong thing being done in the country, and they now feel that it is an opportunity. And meanwhile, you have somebody who is a security threat, who was of course, because as when it was made open, Pansami, terrorist sympathizer, but they just say, oh, he has repented, and you are condoning such a person who is causing security threat, and who is fanning embers of war. When you always go in the line of ethnicity, then who is fanning ember of war? So they are just trying to cover their heads in shame, or did cover their heads in shame, or they are just trying to kind of damage control. And that's why they said, oh, even if they are going to open the Twitter, that is going to be, there must be condition. Which condition? That the Twitter must do what? Must abide with the rules and regulations of Nigeria. I don't think whether they entered any agreements in the first place. And more so, who are the people causing problem? The problem we have this in this country today, the hatred, the disunity that we just have, is caused by the same president. It's caused by him. So honestly, that is why you see that Nigerians do not believe all these politicians, and that's why you see people are saying, "Oh, this could be a showmanship." What will happen at the end of the day? We already know the answer before you even ask the question. What do you expect? Of course, this is the just showmanship. Very soon they will be off your mic, okay? From the house that is summoning him. What has happened to the fainting professor of NDDC's investigation? Off your mic, please. It's a pity that some political appointees see themselves as above the law by their pronouncements that make us look like we are running a banana republic. The fault is that of our watchdogs that can only bark but have no teeth to bite. Whatever our country has been turned into the hands of the APC government has its blame on our National Assembly. Good enough, that man should not do whatever he likes and get away with it. Rep, do your work. You think it is a Lai Mohammed? Lai Mohammed is just a mouthpiece that will just go and deliver the message. They will tell him what to do, and they will tell him the line of a line of thought. So I don't think it is the order came from Lai Mohammed. It didn't come from Lai Mohammed. The order came from Buhari and Malami especially, because it's the one that is advising them what to do or what not to do. And that is why you heard Nigerians calling Oshibaju, what are you doing there? Everyone in Asu Rock is in charge. So now Mr. Lai now is not in charge. Where Mr. Buhari, let Mr. Buhari come and tell the old Nigeria why he suspends Twitter in NTA Live, because Mr. Laila is not a Nigeria president. Let reps call Mr. Bubu. Of course, they will not do that. Lai Mohammed, the drama king, deal with that. Lai Mohammed, do we have a sitting president? The ban is causing a lot of disgrace to government. It was a very bad decision. It shows the incompetence of the government. Do they think Twitter will apologize to them? It's going to be a shameful thing to unban the Twitter. This is what's happened where there is no true justice. Empty threats, medicine after death. These are reactions of people.